You have been asking for an update to our leash recommendation video, and here it is. Not a moment too soon, as we're almost done with the year anyways. Our current lineup of leash recommendations and where to get them, coming up. Ian here with Simpawtico Dog Training, and before we get into our favorite leashes, please make sure you're subscribed so you never miss any of our videos. Also, make sure to follow us on all the major social networks, and don't forget to check that YouTube description for notes, links, and resources about everything we talk about. Now, the usual disclaimer is necessary. I am not being endorsed or paid by any of the manufacturers featured in this video. I bought every leash we tried, save for one, and put them on my own dogs to test them out. Some are leashes I've been using for years, and some are ones we've just recently taken a look at. This time around, we're going to do stuff a little differently too. This video isn't going to be a what's new and awesome in 2018, because a leash is kind of one of those things that's so simple and straightforward that there's very rarely anything new and interesting about it. Most of the new stuff that comes around is unnecessary or gimmicky. And truth be told, recently we've walked back some of our previous recommendations and kind of simplified things. So I really intend for this video to have some longevity and practical usage for you for quite some time. Okay, let's get into it. A note about handles first. We really recommend a loop over any other kind of handle. Based on our training system, we teach dogs how to walk with a loose lead, and we also teach our students how to handle a leash like a multi-tool. You'd be surprised at all the different ways you could use a standard no-frills leash once you know how to handle it like a pro. The more add-ons there are, the more of a unitasker it tends to be, and so these extra features usually just get in the way. Thus, we prefer a leash that can be used in a great variety of potential situations. For this reason, we do not recommend ski handle leashes. This kind of leash will only be useful for keeping control of a really bananas dog, but this has to be a short-term solution if you use it. If your goal is to eventually get your dog to walk politely with a loose leash, and you should, then ski handle leashes won't really be part of your long-term training plan anyways. A note about snaps. Also think about your snaps as you select a leash. Bolt snaps are best when they're made of steel or brass, with or without nickel plating. These are strong and almost universal amongst leashes. Our opinion? Generally preferred unless they're cheaply made. Claw snaps are easy to operate and clip, but are almost always made with cheap materials. The swivel tends to loosen up and they can come unclipped very easily. You can see this one right here loosening up, and now it doesn't even close correctly anymore. Our opinion? Avoid these. Trigger snaps are heavier duty than the claw, and they're also fast and easy to clip. However, these also loosen up over time and come unclipped very easily. I've seen these where the gate just starts flapping around because the spring in the hinge has just completely died. Our opinion? Use caution. Carabiners are easy to operate and very strong, but they can also be bulky and heavy. For ultimate security, make sure it has a locking gate of some kind. Our opinion? Choose wisely. Now, on to the leashes themselves. It's hard to beat a good leather leash. There's a reason it's a staple with trainers of all stripes. Although nylon is technically stronger, leather tends to resist wear better. Leather is also very comfortable and just gets softer over time without losing its strength. I've really gravitated to leather over the last few years. I've always had some in my collection. I mean, this is actually Dexter's first leash, and we've had this about 11 years now. But it's only recently that I've come back to it and made my leather leashes my go-tos for almost everything now. There are three main types of attachments for leather leashes to their snaps. Braided attachments have the leather slit open and then worked back over itself several times to make a one-piece circuit. Riveted attachments use metal rivets to connect pieces back to each other. As you'd suspect, cheap leashes use crappy rivets and better brands use industrial strength ones. Stitched attachments use machines to create rows of powerful stitching in the leather. Generally, the attachment is going to be one of these three, although you can find some that combine two of them, usually braided and then stitched, or braided and riveted, and sometimes even riveted and stitched. Although these are typically stronger and more expensive, a good quality brand will stand up even if it's only one of these main types. Our first leather leash is by Logical Leather. The riveted model is currently living in my training loadout that I take with me on house calls. This would actually work for almost any dog, save maybe a giant breed. From a little Bichon to an adult German Shepherd, I think this would be a great leash. Well made and dependable for the money, it doesn't get much simpler and better than this. Logical leather is available in all three styles, riveted, braided, or stitched. They're 6 feet long and 5/8 inch wide. They come in brown or black, except for the stitched ones that are available in 5 different options. They retail for about 20 to 22 bucks. Mighty Paws super soft distressed leather is also very well made and soft. Nice, smooth leather. I have the regular size and it is currently our Bulldog Wednesday's main leash. The light version would work well for small to mid-sized dogs. The regular is big enough to work with a wide range of larger dogs. My only gripe with this is that they only come in 5-foot lengths, and I personally prefer 6 in most cases, but I'm really just splitting hairs. For most of you, this will be great. The attachments on all Mighty Paw leather leashes are riveted. The light is for dogs 1 to 30 pounds and it's a 1/2 inch wide. The regular is for dogs 30 to 100 pounds and it's 3/4 of an inch wide, nice and beefy. Both sizes come in black, brown, or light brown, and they retail for about 20 bucks. The Timber and Tide 6-foot heavy-duty leash is super stout. You could easily take this to take your 100-pound Rowdy on 2 walks daily with this bad boy. Recently, I used it at the shelter to walk this big guy. Very soft and well made. I almost wish I had more occasion to use it. I showed this to some of my other trainer friends and they remarked it was one of the best leather leashes they'd seen. If you've got a large or giant breed dog, you need this leash. This one is also in my training loadout for house calls. The attachment is riveted, it's 6 feet long and 7/8 of an inch wide, almost a full inch wide. It only comes in brown and it retails for about 30 bucks. The Leerburg Amish leather is riveted and stitched with Amish-made Latigo leather. This is an awesome leash, easily on par or even better than the Timber and Tide one that I just mentioned. Like that one, I wish I had more occasion to use this because it's such a good leash. These come in 4, 6, or 10-foot lengths and they're 3/4 of an inch wide. You have 3 color options and they're about 31 to 47 bucks depending on the size. Leerburg is a pro training site, so there are also tons of configurations of their leather leashes that the average dog owner just won't need. Still, it's really good quality stuff, albeit just a bit more pricey. Our final recommendation is by Dean and Tyler. There's no doubt that this is high quality stuff, really soft too. As you can see, this particular one is a combination braided and riveted, and the rivet is heavier duty than most. However, Dean and Tyler will cost you an arm and a leg. This leash was almost 50 bucks and it's not even the most expensive one they sell. Between you and me, it's good, but not that good. If you want to spend a little bit more on functional luxury, the Leerburg leashes are probably going to be a better bet for you. As we mentioned, nylon is technically stronger than leather. The tensile breaking strength of nylon is way higher than leather, which is why they use nylon for tie-down and recovery straps. Nylon is also lighter than leather, and some people prefer lighter hardware. In fact, for a medium to small dog, nylon is usually preferred. When we take our Boston Terrier out, we usually use one of our nylon leashes. Nylon also allows you to get reflective stitching integrated into the fabric. This is actually a pretty nice feature if you're going to be walking around low visibility or nighttime areas. Nylon, however, does not resist wear and tear like leather does. Sharp corners, nibbles from a puppy, getting shut in a car door, nylon won't stand up to the world like leather will, so there are trade-offs. In any event, for nylon there are countless good enough leashes out there. PetSafe's $8 leash is honestly good enough for most pet dogs. Blueberry Pet makes a couple of good ones that we like too. However, our favorites are the Ezy Dog Soft Trainer. Is a great basic leash with good functionality in the features without overloading. The handle has neoprene lining, making it comfortable to hold in different configurations. The nylon webbing is reflective for low light nighttime, and there's a traffic handle at the bottom. Now, I used to be all about traffic handles, but recently I realized I hardly ever actually use them. They're good to have in a pinch for certain dogs, but if you're going to have one, it had better be low profile so it doesn't get in the way. This fits the bill nicely. When you're not using it, it completely disappears into the profile. The Soft Trainer comes in 2 different sizes, the light, which is for dogs under 26 pounds, and the standard for dogs 26 pounds and over. Both options are 6 feet long. They come in 8 color options, and they're 20 to 30 bucks depending on the size. Next, we have the Nifti Safelatch. Okay, I know I said that a basic bolt snap is the way to go, and this is technically a bolt snap, but it's been souped up for the 21st century and I love it. This is the one leash I got for free in exchange for an honest review from the owner of the company. Nifti has added 3 things to the bolt snap that I think make it better. The thumb release is bigger and easier to manipulate. The bolt has a recessed hole for the tip to slide into, making for a stronger, completed loop. There's a super strong magnet inside the snap that pulls the ring from the collar or harness into the loop and keeps it there. This is a really cool design, and the snap is really well made. Usually I hate gimmicky stuff, but this is well designed and it works. My only complaint with this leash is that the nylon is a bit thin. It's plenty strong for most any dog, but like we discussed, it won't resist wear and tear like some other leashes will. I really like this, and believe me, if they ever make one with a good quality leather strap, I will be all over this. Nifti Safelatches are all 6 feet long and come in 5 color options. They're about 25 bucks. Honestly, I could probably stick with the tried and true leather leash forever, but it's also interesting to explore other options once you're to the point when you're worrying less about training and more about doing stuff. Then, some of these leashes may be fun to add to your arsenal. The Ezy Dog Vario 6 is a European-styled 6-in-1 leash, and I'm really into 6-in-1s. I keep 2 in my car loadout and 2 more in my training backpack for unusual circumstances. They're ridiculously versatile multitaskers, and I think for camping, hiking, or road tripping, one of these would be indispensable. Basically, it's a transformer. It can quickly become a standard long leash, a short leash, a dual handle leash with a traffic loop, a double leash for 2 dogs, a tether, and a hands-free leash, messenger style. It's also available with a carabiner instead of the bolt snap for just over 50 bucks, although I don't think the carabiner justifies the added cost. Your call though. The Ezy Dog Vario 6 is my favorite 6-in-1 leash. The stitching is heavy duty, the material is durable and double layer, and the construction is really high quality. Although, Leerburg also makes an old school leather 6-in-1 if you're into kicking it with cowhide. The Vario 6 comes in 2 sizes, light for under 26 pounds and regular for 26 pounds and over. There are 8 color options and it costs about 35 to 40 bucks depending on the size you choose. Rok Strap leashes are comprised of a great big industrial strength strip of polyester covered solid core rubber. The whole length of it is stretchy, which helps reduce or even eliminate most of the motion when you're moving about. It's also really tough. The end loop and the traffic handles are non-stretch and they're both beefy and padded. Like I mentioned earlier, the traffic handle disappears completely into the profile when not in use. I'm really completely over traffic handles that stick out and flop around. Even though it's not my main leash anymore, it's still one that I keep in part of my arsenal. Rok straps come in 4 sizes. Light, 10 to 30 pounds. Medium, 30 to 60 pounds. Large, 60 pounds and over. And giant, which is the 60-pound size but only 3 feet long. It'd be great for you moving your Newfie around a farmer's market. They come in 12 color options and they retail for 25 to 35 bucks depending on the size. The Ezy Dog Zero Shock is kind of like the Rok Strap, and then it's springy and pretty solid. I keep one at home for myself and one at the Simpawtico training studio. Due to that springy cush, this is, again, really for an experienced walker. Dynamic leashes like this are great when you can give your dog a bit more freedom, but static leashes are much better for training. All I want is a little cush, and many other bungee leashes out there are way too loose and too permissive, I feel. This one and the Rok Strap have a nice balance between that give and take. The main loop handle has a neoprene lining, and there's a nice low-profile traffic handle near the snap. Actually, my main use for this is at the studio when I use it to tether one of my dogs when they're being a decoy for a reactive dog that we're working with. The D-ring on the handle goes onto one of the carabiners on the wall, and the springy leash helps absorb any movement while they're hanging out. Naturally, we attach to a body harness for this. Zero Shock leashes come in the light, which is thinner and 6 feet long, and the regular, which is thicker and 4 feet long. There are 10 color options, and they're about 20 to 30 bucks depending on the size. Let's recap the winners real quick. We prefer leather leashes, and our favorite picks in order of cost are the Mighty Paw, Logical Leather, Timber and Tide, Leerburg, and Dean and Tyler. If you're going to go with nylon or just want some diversity in your gear, we recommend the Ezy Dog Soft Trainer or the Nifti Safelatch. For more experienced dogs and owners, we like the Ezy Dog Vario 6 as our multitasker. We also like the Rok Strap or the Ezy Dog Zero Shock as our leashes with a little dynamic movement. Now, questions for you. What are some of your favorites? What do you like and what do you recommend? Also, what are some other gear videos you'd like to see from us? More reviews? More how-tos? Let's connect in the comments. As always, keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.